Oh, so you request, say, hey, I want to stream the thing I'm about to make, and then it says, okay, you can in 24 hours, or that was an
It,
initial setup thing.
it was an initial setup thing. Like we're good to go now. I somehow managed to figure it out, and we're now live on the YouTubes.
Oh no.
So I'm not touching shit. I'm gonna shut that screen off, and as far as I'm concerned, we're good to go. Where's my mouse? Oh, wrong screen.
Well, don't. Now I can't show you the new holster I got
Oh, why not?
because it matches the piece that resides in it, and I don't want to get marked.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, let's start drinking then.
Did you see my name, by the way?
I do. I love it. I love it.
Oh, I did not think this was gonna be for public consumption.
The entire time I'm like, let's do a live on YouTube, and you're like, okay.
No, I said I gotta figure out if any of my update things are cleared for public consumption. So
Oh.
I can't talk about a bunch of stuff then if we're live.
We can talk about that. Fucking English. We can talk about it after the call. There we go.
Sounds good.
All
How
right.
long of a call in that case?
However long you want.
Okay, I do have a 7. Yeah, because I got to be home by 8:30. So yeah, I'd say like if we aim for 45 minutes, we'll end up going an hour, and that'll work still.
Yeah, that works.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No. So what have you been up to?
Well, I can't talk about it.
Sakes.
No, I've been oh god, what? Oh, running around, more shop work than field work, which has been good.
That's good. Last time we chatted, that's what you wanted.
Yeah, so heading in that direction, so that's good. Man, what else? Yeah, not really outside of work. Nothing. Oh, one of the dogs went after the other one on Thursday, so that's been the one of the peak occurrences of things happening outside of work.
But you've had the same dogs for years.
Yeah. It's always the same thing. The one, the black one, the husky
Yeah.
Rottweiler, she'll just get cranky and just go at the other one. It's never prolonged though. It's just like snap, they disengage, and then that's it. But yeah, this time normally it's just separate them or they separate themselves pretty much. But no, this time the other one has a cone for 2 weeks.
Oh shit!
Like 4 or 5 stitches right on her snout.
Yeah.
Let me see. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. One of my buddies, he's got that's like a Australian Shepherd, right?
Cattle dog husky mix, yeah.
Yeah. One of my buddies, he's got one looks similar to that. We were sitting there and same thing. This was about 2 years ago now. Sat there and we go over there and it's just like, what's wrong with your dog? And it's just like partially sedated and like a cone on and it's walking around and it's just like kind of dopey. I'm like, what the fuck happened to that? And he's like, oh, you'll see. Calls it over, picks it up, and it looks at you, and it's just like something's wrong with its snout. And he just lifted the lip just a little bit, and all you see is stitches all the way across.
Oh, what
Got kicked by
happened?
a horse, and it just peeled everything back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
gnarly.
That was like about maybe he got the dog maybe about a month after his. It was like a John Wick scenario. He got the dog to essentially fill the place of the missus, just to, like, subside the loneliness. So part of me was like, well, why don't, I almost said, "What, you should have put it down," but then it's just like, no.
The horse?
No, the dog.
Oh, you said John Wick scenario, so I'm like, oh, was he fucking load up and then go go into the barn and just start acing horses?
Oh,
Oh, God. No, but yeah, to answer how I should have answered. Been going all right, going good,
nice.
settling down, so that's good. How about you?
Busy,
Nice.
fucking busy. Sat
You
there,
been-
and I haven't spooled anything up again. It's just obviously all my own shit that I'm finally working on and trying to focus my retirement time in a creative manner. And it's finally
Nice.
finally starting to get to a point where it's like I don't feel horrible for doing it, and it's just like it's kind of starting to pay off now. So
Nice.
it's good. It's good. Got the chassis blown apart, all the tube work for the crossmember for the new transmission and T-case. I picked up so I've been looking for an MP241, which is like a chain drive transfer case. Okay, they came in a lot of went from late 80s all the way up to I think like 99, I want to say. And anyway, sat there and I bought an EcoBox from Northwest Fab, and it's just these two.
Yeah, isn't it right there?
This is essentially all it is. All is what it comes with. There's like cable shifters and all that other stuff, but you have to pull the guts out of this MP241 to actually make the doubler box. And the first T-case that I pulled apart, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is going to be great. And I got like 3/4 of the way through the disassembly, and the instructions that they have on their website is absolutely amazing. And I'm like, yeah, this is great, but this bearing looks different than this bearing. Whatever, it's the same diameter. And I keep going, and then it's like you need this very specific outer housing cup cone, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I went and reread the tag that's on it, and it said MP246 instead of 241. My fucking dyslexia kicked in, and I'm just like, motherfucker! So I sat there, and this was like about a year. Yeah, this was like over a year ago that this happened, and I finally found one for a reasonable price. This guy's just like, there's some slack in the chain, but it works fine. I'm like, I'll take it, because everybody else wanted like $1,500, and I got this one for $350 today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good steal.
Yeah, because the last thing I wanted to do was sit there and try and like bench press up so this is going to be like 45 pounds, I want to say, by the time it's all said and done, but it's going in front of a cast iron MP205. And those things, I don't know how heavy they are, but there's no way to pick it up and it not hurt. They're just awkward as fuck. And with this on there, it's just going to make it more awkward. So at least now I can just sit there and just call my buddy over and just, okay, let's somehow put it in without having to on the floor up in and then fabricate everything and all that other stuff. So
nice.
Yeah. So I got that. Managed to find. I'll show you. Hold on a second. It's story time.
Your dog has heard this story before.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah. So
Turned his
the
head
whole
like, another one.
So this might look familiar. This might look familiar to you.
Oh yeah, the CAD model that I had to fix.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to rip the mill scale off of it so I can paint it, and I couldn't find anything. And I was cleaning out my welding cabinet, and I found one of these.
Nice.
Yeah. The downside
Metabo,
is
too.
these two tabs. They're proprietary. So it's just like, okay, I don't ever remember buying them. I got two of them, brand new. So I went
You
into
grabbed them on a
town,
job site or something.
maybe, who knows. But anyway, I went to town to try and see if I can either find the rotary tool for it or an adapter. And the guys are like, yeah, we don't have anything like that, but let's see if we can order it in. It's like, all right. The tool is discontinued, and so is the adapter for it. So if you know anybody that has these, just all they got to do is pay shipping. Because I got no fucking use for them.
Can you like 3D print an adapter?
I don't have a 3D printer yet.
I do.
Oh.
Just to be clear, I'm not offering. I'm just bragging.
No, I know that. I know that. You'd make me pay double.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't seem. Because what's the shaft on your what are those called? Buffing?
I don't know.
Drum sander? I think it's a drum sander.
Maybe. But it's like 4 inches wide. It's a 5/8 shaft. That's about it, really.
Burnishing. This is one of those things. Anybody listening who knows is losing their mind. Polishing, I don't know. I think it's a drum sander, but yeah, yours it's just a regular arbor with a nut or something at the end.
Yeah.
And I could 3D print you a sleeve. It just goes in those tabs and necks it down to the 5/8.
Yeah. I'll take some measurements once we get off the air, and I'll fire it off to you, and then we go. But yeah, no, because I seen it. I'm just like, oh, I wonder if this. And I went over, and I'm just like sitting there, just rubbing it against the frame, and you could just see the mill scale just like peeling. I'm like, yes, this is great. And then when I found that out, I kind of got a little bit pissed. But the guys behind the counter at Lordco, they're like, listen, we got some sandpaper. Do you want to try that? I'm like, oh, fuck, the stuff that I've been trying, it just skates across. And they didn't give me shit. I had to pay full price. But this Mirka, this stuff here, okay? And it's an 80 grit. And I gotta tell you, I am impressed. So it's a hook and loop on the back here.
Yeah.
But I sat there, put it on my little Milwaukee palm sander, and there's a section, maybe 8 inches wide, 8 by 4 inches, maybe 5 minutes down to bare metal. And it's just like, oh, thank Christ. Because the rest of the chassis, the normal sandpaper was doing it. Mind you, not very fast, but it was doing it. But it would just skate. Fuck, I'm trying to point in the fucking screen on here, and everything's reversed. God damn it. You know what I'm trying to
do. Oh, yeah. Back that way. What about chemical? Like chemically stripping it?
So I could use...
Like make a vinegar paste.
I never thought of making a paste. I know if it was flat sheets still, before I had it all bent up and all that, there's, I think it's muriatic acid if you soak it in that for like 24 hours or something like that, it'll rip all of the
I
mill
think
scale
even
off.
I think less than that because muriatic is like super aggressive. But I get
Yeah.
well, regular like kitchen vinegar will do it. It just takes forever. But you go to Depot and get they have 30% vinegar, and
Okay.
you can cut it or not, and that strips the mill scale like right off. Only thing, you got to do something to it like later that day.
Right.
You rinse it afterwards. You got to do something to it because it's gonna flash rust like right away.
Yeah.
And it's like faster than if you buff the mill scale off. I guess it's something with chemical stripping where it makes it especially susceptible to that quick rust. But no, that works. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's got to be like they have
Yeah.
when guys restore Bridgeports or clean them up, there's this, I can't remember what it's called. I used it on the Cincinnati that I rebuilt and then gave up on and scrapped. Orange something, and it was like a paste, and it strips off that old industrial paint. And there's got to be something like that for mill scale, or that would also work for mill scale.
Not you're not talking like the fast orange hand cleaner stuff.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because yeah, for when I'm doing for anything where I'm like welding a bolt to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Citrus Strip is it's a gel.
Yeah. Okay.
But
anything like any hardware that I have to weld to something, I drop that in vinegar, and usually within 24 hours it's ready to weld. But like as you're pulling it out, it's like flash rusting. It's like, fuck.
Right away, as it's coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever, it works.
Hell yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I'm glad I'm not those children.
The ones you have locked up.
Can you hear that? Yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
I can't hear it.
Every so often, I just hear my youngest just screeching because he's going through a phase. He some days he's like the kindest, gentlest individual, and then other days it's just like, boy, you are about to go back where you came from. And like Sarah was sitting there, she was baking, and she was just finishing, and he's like, want to help, and he starts pushing a chair over, and then she's like, no, it's all done, and he's like, okay, and just like the puppy dog eyes and everything, and then just drives the chair into the side of her leg, like just below the knee on the outside. She's got a bruise about 6 inches high, about 2 to 3 inches wide, and it is black. And he's just like, dude, walks away afterwards. It's like,
little shit.
Oh yeah. The on the upside though, the middle boy is sitting there, and he's getting to the point where he's just like, I'm not taking your shit anymore. And he'll sit there and be like, you hear him, no, please stop. Like all the proper trying to.
Yeah, the warning signs.
Yeah. And then finally, like he'll sit there and that, and you just see him just, and he'll look at me for approval, and it's just like, rules of engagement, boy. And he's like, okay. And he'll just turn around, just, oh, one and done. That's it. And like I asked him too. I'm like, why do you only hit him once? And he's like, because he only hit me once. If I hit him again, then he can hit me, and then it's a fight. I don't want to fight that. I want it to be done. It's like we're readers. We finish the fights. It's like, yes.
It's a pretty.
Well, I'll leave it at that.
That's intuitive, because what I mean, the middle. What's the middle? 11? No.
No, the oldest is 9. My middle boy is 5, and the youngest is 3, going on 13.
Okay, I thought the youngest and nice. I thought the youngest was, I don't know why I thought they were shifted up in age, but
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
So you enjoying your
oh,
have you figured out the shift to retirement? Sort of your time usage
I'm
during the
getting
day?
there. I'm getting there. So Mondays and Fridays, it's dad school. So I'll take like an hour every morning just to come out here, go on the computer, emails, whatever I have to do, download stuff. So on Tuesday morning, I can start editing. But that's pretty much it, unless Maverick's like, no, Dad, I want to come out to the shop with you. But then after that, it's like, okay, it's full on dad school where it's just like we're learning how to build a fire, or we're learning the proper use for a hatchet and an axe and a splitting axe. This past Monday, we went out into K Country, which is essentially the public land use area. We got hiking trails, snowshoe trails, and we went out there. And I like to let him lead, pick the trails, take point. And we're sitting there and we're going through, and he had his own pack, he had his own food, water, clothes, everything. And I had mine on, and okay, we're gonna go across. Taught him safe crossing on how to cross a frozen river, what to listen for, what to not do, what to do. Worst case scenario, we get to the other side, and just the way it was on the mountain, it's like all the snow had eddied there. I think that'd be the right term to use, because like the wind comes over and it just piles. But
I know.
Anyway, we're sitting there. We're walking. Yeah. Anyway, we're sitting there walking, and he's, no joke, at least knee deep in this snow, and he's just high stepping it the entire time for like 2.5 hours on this loop going, and it's just like, good on you, buddy. But why the fuck did you pick this? I didn't say it, but I'm like, why the fuck did you pick this trail? Because he's high stepping, and I'm mid thigh deep in this snow, and by the time I was done, I'm just like, oh, God, no. Like I should have brought snowshoes.
Yeah, really.
But I got to give it to him. Like he's like, no, Dad, like, this is the trail, and da, 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 da. And we would get to the maps, and he's just like, okay, I don't understand how to read it. Can you read it, Dad? I know because there's steel plates that they laminate the map onto, and then instead of having like a star saying this is where you are, they take a self-tapping screw and just straight through. So you know where you are. Anyway, and he's just like, I know we're here. I know this is where we want to go. And it's just like, okay. So it's good in this, because that there, it's helping me. One, it's helping me connect with the kid, plain and simple, because that was one of the things where it was just like I had no relationship with my kids when Veteran Welding was still running, and so that's helping with that there. And it's just, I don't know what to call it, but I've had that, I still do, the need to teach him how to survive. So anyway, we're looking at getting them enrolled in Beavers. So I don't know if you were never in Scouts, I don't think, but up here there's like
to be older before he gets into any beavers.
Different type. You see, I was in Beavers and Scouts, but I got kicked out of Scouts for eating a brownie. So
touche.
Anyway, so like Beavers is like the 5 to 7, and that's the 4 Boy Scouts.
Yeah, so we're like a Cub Scouts type thing.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, exactly.
There's one younger than that even.
Yeah. So anyway, we kind of like, do you want to join? He's like, I don't know what it is. And we're like, it's dad school. Only Dad's not teaching it. It's all these, and you're with all these other kids, and he's just like, yes. It's like, okay,
let's do it.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
So it's good, because then it gives me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to hammer on out here, and it's kind of giving me, it's not kind of, it's giving me the guidelines I need not guidelines. That's not the right word. I gotta slow down. It's giving me the
Blueprint.
guidelines, blueprints. Yes, where it's just okay. Like this is your 9 to 5. This is what you're doing. Blah blah blah. And it's snowballing and not having the fuck. I need to make X amount to pay for everything that I'm rent, like rent and equipment payments and blah 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 blah. It's just like no, everything that you have, I have fabricated vehicles with before, so I know I can do it. It's just a matter of slowing down and just okay, we're gonna do this and do that. So it's good. It's good.
That's pretty awesome.
And I mean, it's also giving me with the missus and I, it's giving us the opportunity to like shift. So she's now taking point with her company, so forward facing, and I got to give it to her. I am amazed at how fast it is going. Like we'll sit there and I'll give her little pep talks and just kind of like watch out for this. I don't like this about that person. Just kind of I don't know what to call it, but just like third person perspective. And
Like an in-house consultant.
yeah,
Where like
yeah.
not in-house in terms of like you're closer to a company than a normal consultant would be. So it's not this removed third party. But no, that's cool. What is she doing again? Actually, I don't think we ever talked about that.
No. So we've talked about your wife before, not mine. Anyway, so early childhood education is her thing. Like welding and fabricating is ours, where it's just like, this is cool. I got this cool thing here, blah, blah, blah. Teaching kids, that's hers. Specifically, the outdoor portion of it. Because she grew up in the Yukon, so like when she was going through school, she got her hunter education course. She got her firearms course. And then at the end, I think it was her senior year, part of their curriculum was, okay, we're going to take you 2 hours north of Whitehorse, drop you off in the bush, and then you have to survive for the night. Peace. And usually it's like one of the coldest nights of the year. Like when she did it, it was like -40. And then they would have the dads or parents, whoever, going around every couple of hours, making sure everybody's fire was still going. They were okay. So there was a sense of control, but not a lot.
There's still a safety net, but it is on them. Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
So she loves teaching kids about the wild and all that other stuff. And so what she does is she does adventure play, mobile adventure plays, which is like she'll show up with a whole bunch of like loose parts, electrical wooden wheels. I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. When you go to like Home Depot and you're like, I need 40 feet of cable, and they pull it off the drum, she'll take a whole bunch of those, a whole bunch of PVC and different, spools. Thank you. A whole bunch of different cables and ropes and tarps and this and that and the other thing, and she'll lay it out. And at first I thought this was stupid because I'm like, there's no fucking way that there's actually a market for this. And at this time she was still working for the city of Calgary, and the city of Calgary went, this is our concept, run with it. And Sarah's like, okay, yeah, no problem, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Because when I grew up, it was very much, okay, it's 9 o'clock, you've had breakfast, you're dressed, get the fuck out of the house. You can come in at 11:45 and then you're back out at 12:15. Like, I lived outside.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it, and kids, the first time there, they're like, well, what do we do? Go build stuff. Go play. Okay, but how? And it's like, what the fuck do you mean how? Like, just go. So once she sits there and that, and just kind of like, this is what you can and cannot do, you kind of see it. And it takes a little bit of time, but it starts snowballing. Usually within like an hour or two, they got like forts going and one thing and the other. And it's just like, these kids literally have no idea how to build shit. Like anyway, so that's what it started off as. And then there's not a lot of money in that, but there's a lot of a lot of opportunity in going to the schools and teaching the schools, this is how you run a loose parts playground. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. Have saws, have this, because like a lot of the teachers are like, well, what if a kid cuts off their hand? And Sarah, it's probably one of the only times she's done this without me coaxing her. She went, here you go, at sight. Here you go, cut off your own finger. And the individual was just like, no, that's gonna hurt. What happens if you're sawing and you catch your finger? You put a Band-Aid on it and you keep going. It's not a power tool. So kids learn risky play and all that. So during COVID, she got the shit kicked out of her, like a lot of people, but to the point where as soon as it hit, done, boom, full stop.
Oh yeah.
Then we had our second kid, or my third. And then she started going again, I'd say about a year ago now, like really pouring the coal. And in the last 8 months, maybe even 6, it's gotten to the point where organizations are getting a hold of her and they're being like, hey, we want you to come and teach us. We want you to speak here, do that. She has 6 speaking engagements in the next 4 months. One of them is down in Bloomington, Indiana. Bloomington? Yeah, it's just south of Indiana. And it's like the child education expo in the world. And they're like, yeah, no, we want you here. And it's just like,
nice.
Fuck yes. So it's really good. I'm enjoying sitting there and being like, okay, go, go, go. Especially when she's having her down days, because it's one of those times where it's just like, I get to kind of jack somebody up right now. And then just give her a jacking, but like in a pep talky kind of way, to the point where she's like, yeah, I can do this. I got this. And then seeing her turn around and run with it, it's good. I'm really proud of her. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome you are, experiencing this the way you are, and not because it could go the other way, where it's I don't know. When I think couples look at it like a power balance kind of a thing, where it's like the income thing fucking ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. That's a thing of beauty, man.
No.
It's because it's rewarding, right? To give that support, and see somebody killing it like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very
cool. No, it was for I'd say the first 9 months after I shut down Veteran Welding, it was like, I'm gonna go start a shotgun. Like, I'm fucking done. And it was really hard because it was like, I am not doing what a man should be doing. And then Sarah sat me down and she was like, okay, you know what? Physically, no, you're not going out and working 12 hours a day like you were, blah, blah, blah. But let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the brass tacks. This is what you're doing, and this is what I'm doing. And as soon as it was put in that perspective, because I got my pension, as soon as it was put in that perspective, it was just like, oh, okay. It was a big light bulb moment, and then it was just a matter of, okay, now I need to break routine and move forward. So
hell yeah, it's sort of like
it's good because I'm getting. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, because like with this here, I'm looking at it as a business. I haven't officially started anything other than the new YouTube channel, but it's giving me the opportunity where before it was like, fuck, I gotta send out these contact letters, I gotta send out these sponsorship packages, I gotta do this, I gotta do it. I'd be up till like 2 a.m. some nights. Now it's like, okay, from this time to this time I'm working. This is my list for the week, and that's it. It's still pushing it, but it's not. The push out and burnout rate is leveling out.
It's not the pressure. It's not the pressure cooker that a business normally.
Yes.
Because it's still you still have pretty much all the options, so that lets you
Yeah.
kind of approach things a little bit differently, you know, be smarter in what you want to get involved in. Yeah, you remember when you first started, just that, like, say yes to everything, you know,
Yeah.
um, mind virus kind of a thing. That's just like, you know, oh, I can't turn any job away. And, you know, you go down these stupid rabbit holes. You're like, that was, even if it was a profitable thing, it wasn't the best use of your time kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No, I got another buddy there. He's in a similar situation. Like he went to overseas and that, and he got into a few kinetic events. But then when he got out, he joined the Calgary Police Force. Quickly went into like the SWAT and undercover side, and the guy's a fucking badass. But he sat there. I think I might have told you this. He was at the Calgary Stampede, and they got a call, and he's like, "Okay, cool, let's mount up, let's get in the van." And buddy opened up the van, and he stepped into the van and hit his head right on the track, cut himself open, gave himself, I think it was his 13th or 14th concussion, he said. And he went from one of those guys where it's just like you would have a hard time holding your own, Chris, against him. Like he used to be so fucking fast and so witty. It would just be like, "Ooh, like here we go." Like it was good. To when that happened, he just, "Okay, guys, how's it going?" Like visibly slower.
Hit that
But him
speed
and I
bump.
were having a chat. Yeah, him and I were having a chat, and at that point, it had been almost a year since his event, since he got retired, and we were coming home from Calgary, and he's just like, "I'm driving. I have control of the locks on the doors. You're in this fucking car until I say you can leave." And we had a hard like he didn't hold anything back. Like he called all of my bullshit. And he's like, "I'm going to tell you the one thing that I should have told you years ago. It's this one magical little word." And I got it right here.
Yes.
He's like, "You need to learn how to say no. Say fucking no." And there's been a few, like, especially in the last month, I'd say about the last month since Christmas, there's been companies calling up like, "Hey, we want you to do this. We want you to do this." And one of them was, I had done work for them before, but they had always fucked around until they wanted it delivered that day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so one of them was one of these engine stands for these Pratt and Whitney aircraft engines. And dude, I'm talking stupid simple. It's an H frame about 10 feet long, 6 feet wide, with an H frame at the front and an H frame at the back, welded in at a certain distance with clamps that they would provide and install all themselves. They're like, "Okay, well, how long would this take to build?" Like, "Oh, it's big," and they're just talking it up. In the back of my mind, I'm like, "There's no way I'm going to do this. No way." So I'm like, 15 grand in 2 months, and they wanted 6 of them, and they're just like, "Whew, that seems fair. That seems fair." I'm like, I think it is. I think it is. And that was my fuck you price. Like
Right.
just off the top of my head. And I'm like, "But I need you to provide." I took the ball and I'm like, that's my price. Whether I lose my shirt or not, I'll honor the price. But I need you to give me blueprints and drawings. And they're like, "How detailed?" I'm like, "It doesn't have to be very detailed, but just, the hard
Standard.
numbers, just make sure everything is on the center line." You know what that means? They're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." You can tell they had no fucking clue. Same thing. Same thing about a month later. "Hey, are those engine stands done?" "I haven't had any drawings. I haven't had this. I haven't heard anything." And then finally one day they're just like, "You know what? We're gonna cancel that. Things have changed." It's like, no fucking shit. And just sitting there and just knowing the entire time where it's just like I'm essentially sitting in a lawn chair sipping mojitos, and these guys are like, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because if they had been doing anything in all that
Yeah.
downtime, then it probably would have gone. No,
Mhm.
yeah, there's nothing worse than thinking your fuck you price is a fuck you price, and then finding out it's not at all. You're like, damn. It's you come up with the number where you're like, I think I'm this number, you know, this is my number for valuing myself 3 times more than I normally would, or than I
Yeah.
think I'm, doing all the numbers and all that. And like they don't even blink. And they're just like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, no, see, look on our end, see, what the project, how it goes and all that. My a thing with that, and it's this one customer in particular. Um, I don't think he watches these, but if he does, he'll know who he is. I feel bad because it's not even him. It's like the rest of the project machine that's sort of around
Yeah.
him and, you know, that feeds him not enough data, but he has to get an answer, for them to decide on what they want to do. So he'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, can I have, you know, like kind of a vague request, like, oh, I need, can you do 100 pipe spools in 2 weeks? I'm like, probably, what size? He's like, I don't know yet. I'm like, they have outlets on them or anything? He's like, I don't know yet. I'm like, when? He's like, not really. I'm like, yeah, so well, theoretically, yeah, I can do it in 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
if it started tomorrow, sure, or not tomorrow. If it started in 2 weeks, then sure. But if it starts in 3 weeks, I don't know. That other thing might have gone by then, or I'll be into this project or whatever. So it's that one.
Yeah.
Like I feel for him. So that's almost even more annoying because there's nobody to be annoyed at, or there is, but they're faceless. I never
Yeah.
get to meet them. It's like,
Yeah.
you poor bastard. I'll give you the best answer I can, but I'll need notice when that 2 weeks starts. You can't just call and be like, hey, that's a go. We're coming in 2 weeks to pick it up.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah. Hey, is there any
So
way? Well, one, is there any way to change my name back? And and
not now.
yeah, I know. And is there any way to get our screens vertical, not horizontal? Or maybe span 2 monitors, because that's a little better. I'm still looking off camera when I look at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, tell you the truth.
We can dig into it later. That's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Don't change anything.
So on my screen, you're rather large.
On my screen
Or
you're
sorry,
rather
you're
large.
tiny, I'm large.
Oh,
Are you large on your screen?
no, you're large
No, that's not what I want.
and in charge.
We'll tinker fart with that in a bit.
Yeah, no, just wanted to mention it before I forgot.
Yeah. But you know what I'm kind of looking forward to doing? Watching this on the replay.
Oh, to see if
No. Seeing if anybody notices my dog shitting on the floor.
Oh, well, it's been right behind your head, so I don't know if they would.
But I'm wondering if it's one of those times where like I ran off and grabbed something and came back, and you just see him
just fucking posting up and firing out a full stage grunter.
Oh god, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, we're talking, and all of a sudden I'm just like, did my dog drop ass? I looked back and then I saw that, and I'm just like, fuck.
My wife's remaining cat, we put the other one down, and it's got to be, can't be that long. I think no more than like 3 months ago. I think
Yeah.
we put her down. They're like 16 or something. But the remaining one, her kidneys are going, and she like not eating. Well, she wasn't eating her normal food. So now, since the end is near, um, we're just feeding her what we call McDonald's food, like the not good for you, or not good, the least good for pets, but like the type that they all like. You
Easy
know
to
what I mean?
pass.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. It's just because she won't eat the healthy stuff, or the food when they have kidney problems. Give them this food. Just the stuff that tastes good but isn't good for her, kind of a thing, just to get her to eat. Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't know this, but they get to a stage when their kidneys really start going that they stop using the litter box, and that is happening this week. Been like 3 days in a row where it's like, oh, lovely. So that's coming
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
soon, I think.
I know this furry bugger. I don't know. I'm surprised he's made it. Like we had a
Yeah,
stretch there in December or January, I can't remember, when it was like -40, so like -15, -20 Fahrenheit. So, and he just sat there and just stopped eating, just full on stopped. And there was a few mornings where like I told my middle boy, I'm like, listen, go let the dogs out, feed them the whole 9 yards. And he's like, okay, all right. Hey, Crash is still sleeping. And then you just see Sarah and I just like, is this it? And he's just like curled up because he's so like he's in the breezeway. You got the house, the breezeway, and the shop. So it's heated vicariously through the walls, I guess.
yeah,
It doesn't get any colder than -10 in there. Or sorry, it doesn't get any colder than 10 in there. And anyway, you come in, you're like, Crash, Crash, and you just see him just like, huh? Huh? Oh, okay, you're deaf. That's all right. Because he is losing his hearing. But like Sarah and I keep having the conversation. It's just like, if he dies in the summertime, we'll just dig a big deep hole, put him in there, and then put a tree on top, and then
nice.
that'll be the end of it. But what the hell are we doing if he dies like during the winter? Like, I'm not renting an excavator, that's for sure.
Right.
But
And you don't want to
you run
you don't want to dig
you
the
run your hand
hole.
down his back, and you can feel his vertebrae and everything else like that. But once it started warming up, like our other Newfoundlander, man, he tried eating Crash's food a couple of times, and Crash wrecked him, fucking wrecked him. And it's just like I don't know if dogs have like 9 lives or whatever, but you keep impressing me, kid. So
Still got
anyway,
some left in the tank.
yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, you want to wrap up on here, and then we can have our own chinwag? All right. Cool. Groovy. Well, I don't know if this is going to be a regular occurrence or not, but if it is, and you're in the not Cincinnati, Connecticut area, go check out Ball Bags Anonymous. Phenomenal welder. Where can I get a hold of you, buddy?
Good to talk to you again. Yeah, we should. It could be monthly. That would be the safest thing to say.
Yeah.
More if possible. And I'll actually come. I'll realize that we're going live or recording it.
Yeah.
For the next.
This was my fault. I'll own that because I thought, yeah, it's my fault. Anyway.
Well, I reread my response and I didn't clearly say no.
Yeah.
To the recording, so we'll split blame on that. I'm good.
Right. Groovy. All right. Well, until next time, guys. Cheers. Stay focused. I hope this doesn't end our call. So.
Oh, we will see.
Yeah.